Hi, I'm Alicia and I'm with Hive Comicade and I'm here with Charlie Rocket. And today we're going to have a conversation about her journey as a cosplayer. So, first, I just want to know, Charlie Rocket, how'd you get the name?
So, the name is actually a funny story. My best friend and I, we went to North Carolina Central University. What's up? We went to Central together, and at Central, the blurred life, and in society, the blurred life used to be a little more undercover, a little more secret. Okay. So, she and I, we used to play Guitar Hero all the time on PlayStation, and we would play a bunch of other games. But Guitar Hero was our favorite, and Charlie Rocket was our band name.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yes, Charlie Rocket was our band name. We searched for a band name, and then we decided to use an automated name generator.
Gotcha.
And we didn't like the first name. I don't remember what it was, but then the second name was Charlie Rocket. And I was on lead guitar, and she was always on bass. And every day, to relieve the stress of a student, we would go play as Charlie Rocket. So when I started cosplaying and I was thinking of names, I was like, what should I use? And then when I thought of it, I went to her and I said, can I use our band name for my cosplay name? She was like, of course, yeah, I don't care.
Oh, that's super dope. I actually really like that story. Yeah. I love it.
It was a wrap.
Yeah. So that's cool. I really love that. So it really has a deep connection to you. Yeah.
Close to my heart.
Oh, cool. So what started you on the cosplay journey?
So I like to say I've been cosplaying my whole life. My mom used to help us make costumes for Halloween when we were younger, and we would keep our chest of costumes and play dress up and that kind of thing. But when I started actually cosplaying for real, I had realized that North Carolina had conventions the same way, like New York has Comic-Con, And so I had started going for a couple of years and just peering through the windows and wondering, one day, I'll be one of these people, And I had gone a few times just wearing a graphic tee or something like that. I said, you know what? I'm going to cosplay this time. I'm going to do it. And you know what? Starting off, I didn't know how to sew. I didn't know how to do anything that's involved in that. I'm very crafty because my mom's always been very crafty, but for cosplay, it's a different level. It's not making little trinkets for your teachers.
Yeah.
It's not that, But what I decided to do, because of that and to relieve stress, I had a 2-year-old. I'm doing all this stuff, working full time. I was driving myself insane. But just as a side hobby, I was like, let me just start. Let me just dip my foot in, And so I followed a bunch of cosplayers, and I just asked them a bunch of questions. And I decided to use, initially it was just my Facebook page. I decided to use my Charlie Rocket Facebook page as a page where people can go see a cosplayer start from scratch.
Oh, cool.
And anybody else who wanted to cosplay, I was like, let's do it together. Let's start together. If you have any questions, I will answer them, or I will find out who can answer them, and we'll get that answer together,
Yeah, so you built a little community.
Right, exactly.
That's really cool.
I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you? Let's do it all together.
Right.
Whatever. And so I just started there, and now here we are 7 years later.
Gotcha. So what was your first cosplay?
So I have a couple answers for this.
Okay.
Because I've been wearing costumes so long, it's hard to say. It's so hard to say. My first costume I wore to a convention was Lucy from Fairy Tail.
Okay.
From the anime Fairy Tail. And the reason I normally don't count this as my first cosplay is because I had my sister help me for a lot of it.
Okay.
I didn't know anything I was doing. So the costume I normally say is my first is my Gamora costume.
Okay.
I made everything from scratch. I did everything top to bottom. It was all me. This was before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. Actually, a month or two before, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And I wore the comic book version of Gamora, which is a lot less clothes.
Yeah.
But
I actually like the comic book design better than the movie.
I did like the design better. Exactly.
Right.
So that's why I did it. And also I felt like it incorporated every form of art that cosplay has.
Right.
And I wanted to challenge myself to at least try different things, you know? I like made the skulls myself. I had to find like chains. I had to put the fabric together. You know, I had to add detail to the design, body paint. There was a wig. There's everything. So I was like, everything's involved in this. So I'm doing this one. Not an overachiever at all.
Right,
Okay.
right. You paint your whole body green.
Right, exactly. That's fine for a first shot.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So what convention did you go to when you were dressed as
Animazement.
Animazement. Okay, gotcha.
Animazement was the first con I was introduced to in North Carolina.
Gotcha.
I went every year for a very long time. Hopefully after COVID and everything, you know, I'll be back. But I love Animazement.
See, I've never been to Animazement. The first convention I went to was NC Comic Con in Oak City. So, yeah. But I've heard about Animazement. I heard it's amazing.
Yes.
So, what are some of your favorite conventions to attend?
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard question because I have so much fun at conventions as a whole. Like, small ones, big ones. They all have, like, a special place in my heart. But, first of all, I always say BlurredCon. BlurredCon, ugh, amazing.
Yes, yes. I went this year for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I had been hearing how great it was, and Hilton, he comes to North Carolina a lot.
Yes,
and so
he does.
Every time I've seen him, he'll be like, "Oh, you coming to BlurredCon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming." But I've never been.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to BlurredCon.
I'm gonna actually do it.
I'm gonna actually go to BlurredCon.
Girl.
I went, and the crowd wasn't even as big because of COVID, and you had to be vaccinated.
Exactly.
But I'm telling you, it was so fun. It was so fun. So, okay.
I missed these last 2 years because of the pandemic, like you said. But I've gone to 3 Blurred Cons prior to that, and it just gets better every year. It's definitely a safe space. There's never any drama. Everybody's just hanging out. I feel like it's the most positive con that I've ever been to. You know, everybody's family, everybody's a friend.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the music. The music makes me feel like it's like a mixture between my nerdy side where I want to listen to anime intros and things like that, and then also it feels like HBCU a little bit. You know,
right.
It has all the songs that we're all gonna know, so everybody's having fun. It's like a cookout. It really is like a cookout for real. BlurredCon definitely top of my list, but my second favorite one is KatsuCon.
Okay.
KatsuCon, I apparently love these Maryland cons, you know, these DC, Maryland, Virginia cons, but KatsuCon is at the National Harbor.
Okay.
And it is an anime convention. Huge. It is huge. Jessica Nigri's there a lot of times. Yaya Han. A lot of these bigger cosplayers are always there. But it's just fun.
Right.
Like, honestly, it's the most fun that I have next to BlurredCon.
Gotcha.
Last time I went to KatsuCon was actually, is that the last time? Or second to last time? Something like that. Was the year Black Panther came out.
Okay.
And it came out that same weekend, and they had a huge premiere at the movie theater across the street. So you just walk over there. We had a red carpet. Like, people would... It was amazing. Like, it was great. It wasn't part of the convention. It was a separate group was actually doing that, and now that separate group works with, like, HBCU Con and things like that. But that group created that environment, and there's a lot of different groups that create small events at KatsuCon, so you can meet up with people who have the same interest as you. They do photo shoots of all these different groups, and I know they do that at a lot of cons, but at KatsuCon, it's at the Gaylord, and they have this huge window with, like, the water in the background, and they got a gazebo, and people schedule photo shoots there, and it's just gorgeous, and it'll be hundreds of people dressed as Steven Universe or something. You know, like, it's just so much fun. It is very crowded, but I definitely have the most fun there.
Nice.
Don't go there to get noticed. Go there just to have fun.
Gotcha.
It's so crowded. Everyone's going to get noticed and get pictures, but everyone stands out there.
Right.
It's not about having the spotlight. It's just about being with your people.
On your social media, right now you have around 10,000 or more followers.
Yes.
So when did you realize that you were really starting to build a big name for yourself in the cosplay community?
So, what's weird, my cosplay career has been such a roller coaster ride and so strange because very quickly I started being a guest at conventions and things like that, my following was not very big at all.
Gotcha.
It was not big, but somehow within the first year of cosplaying, I got a guest spot at Wizard World Raleigh. And so they only had one Raleigh show, but Wizard World is a traveling con.
I've heard of Wizard World, so when you said that, okay.
So they didn't have any cosplay guests at all, and I noticed that. And so I just kind of asked, you know, like, I just asked, and, you know, I had a few costumes at that point, only a couple, but, you know, I just kind of really sold it. But basically, so Wizard World Raleigh was my first big con, and it was in probably 6 months of me starting to really cosplay. So it was a big deal, but I also was very nervous. And, you know, I had imposter syndrome. I felt like, I just started. What am I doing here? You know, that kind of thing. But, you know, I pulled together 5 costumes, I think, that con. They're 5 of some of my best costumes. My Catwoman, Black Widow. I had Uhura from Star Trek.
Okay.
My Spider-Gwen, which is one of my fan favorites, and my Storm costume, which is a fan favorite. So a lot of my fan favorites came from that con. And at that con, I met some of my closest friends, like Jenna Say What, at that convention. And so after that, I felt like, wow, I could really do this. I'm really doing kind of big things. I'm pulling stuff out of my hat. I ran 6 panels that convention. I had a booth. People bought photos and I signed them. And so very quickly I felt like, wow, I could do this, you know?
Wow.
And it wasn't about a following or anything. It was just about how much do you want it, you know?
Yeah, I was about to say, that's really interesting because you just like, you just jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Both me.
Yeah, like that's like awesome that you like had the confidence just to be like, you know, I can do it.
Girl,
6 months in, I'm ready. Like, you know, there have been some people who were just been too gun shy, being like, oh, I don't have enough experience to do something like that. But that's awesome.
No, I definitely felt like I didn't have enough experience. I definitely
yeah, but you went.
I felt like the water was above my head, but like if they believed I could be there and accepted me to be there, then I guess I should, right?
Right.
I guess I should.
Yeah.
And you know, I wasn't big on makeup back then. I didn't really know how to beat my own face. You know, I hired somebody from the Mac counter to beat my face every day. I came like a professional, you know, and I came ready. It's not about having to be able to do everything yourself. It's about what you're presenting to people, you know. I wasn't there yet in my crafting. I wasn't there yet in my makeup, hair design, none of that. But I still could present a professional look for you with the help of other people. And, you know, it's not about doing everything yourself. Cosplay is about what you make it. It's about what you make it.
Nice. So tell us who you're cosplaying as today.
I'm cosplaying as Lydia from Beetlejuice.
Nice. So she came in the Halloween vibe. So what made you decide on Lydia?
So I knew we were meeting out here in this lovely park, and so I wanted something that read as the character, but also wasn't so much for all the normies out there, you know, like too much right before Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare anybody.
Right. No, I totally understand. Because when you asked me if I wanted you to cosplay, I was a little nervous. I was like, I know I want us to be outside in public. So, okay, cool. Now, your hair. Did you do your hair yourself?
No, you know what? A friend of mine did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really cute. That's why I was like, I'm really feeling your hair. I love the whole vibe. And I like the idea of, you know, you're cosplaying, but you're not just doing like a direct rip on how the character looks. Like you're putting your own interpretation and style on it.
You know what? I used to be a stickler. I was very picky, and I only would try and make all of my costumes like as canon as possible. I wanted it to be the exact costume and exact this and blah, blah, blah. But when you do that, you're always going to be disappointed because you're not that person and you're not going to look like that person. As a black woman, I'm definitely not going to look like that person.
Right.
So I'm just always going to fall short of the exact comic character or anime character or whatever it is. So you might as well make it your own, make it feel like you.
Right.
And you feel closer to the character. I just started branching out and kind of doing that kind of this year. And it's been a game changer. And I've been planning this Lydia costume all month. I've been waiting for my hair to get done so I can do it.
Right. And I mean, it gives you more creativity. And yeah, so like you said, you could be out here in the public with like I said, the normal people,
Exactly.
and nobody even knows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We know, but you know they might not know, and it's okay. It's okay.
Exactly.
So I want to ask you a question because I know you said you love BlurCon.
Yes.
So where have you seen the cosplay community as far as Black cosplayers from when you first started to where they are now?
So when I first started cosplaying, I hardly ever saw people of color cosplay at all. I think there was like a handful of people I would see in North Carolina at local cons. At, you know, when Wizard World came here, and like you said earlier, NC Comic Con, Oak City, and Bowl City, and Greensboro, and that kind of thing. You know, you see a couple of people of color here and there, but I didn't see hardly any when I started, and that's part of what discouraged me when I first started, and it was hard for me to find characters I wanted to cosplay because I was so worried about cosplaying outside of my race. But then I also was worried about cosplaying Black characters because the Black characters also don't look like me. So I was kind of somewhere in the middle, and that's why I chose Gamora at first, because I was like, I can be green.
Right.
But now I realize it's not about what you look like, you know, it's about who you want to cosplay. You know, that's all that it's about.
Right, right.
If I love this character, then I can show it however I want, you know?
Right.
And that includes cosplay. And so, so I'm glad that more Black people are starting to cosplay now. More people of color, you're starting to see it. But things like cons like BlurCon, events like BlurCon, groups that are like Color of Fandom, and a bunch of groups out here, HBCU Con, QuirkCon, all of those are coming up now and giving us kind of a safe space where we feel like we have people who are like us, who have been in hiding this whole time, loving our nerd culture in secret. And so now we have this safe space. And so now more people are going to those cons and then branching out to all the other ones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I even started a new convention here in North Carolina,
which
is called Unicon.
Unicon. Okay, tell us about
And
your
con. It is based on bringing unity, because I don't see a lot of diversity here. It spotlights people of color, and it spotlights the LGBTQ community out here when we don't get a spotlight, you know?
Right.
And so I just want to bring all people together, celebrate our nerd culture, celebrate our art, and just give them that moment and that safe space here in North Carolina.
Okay. So you've told us what the purpose of Unicon is. So, like, give us some details. Like, do you have any events planned? What's going on with it?
So for Unicon, you can follow us on Instagram at the official Unicon.
Okay.
I started Unicon a few years back, actually. And the first year I was supposed to have my big con, of course, COVID happened.
Right.
It was supposed to be October of 2020. So we ended up having a virtual con.
Okay.
And that went really well. And we did have a live event. It was a smaller event. It was in Durham.
Okay.
And a couple of people came out. We had a Halloween contest, and everything was on Halloween last year.
Nice.
And so we had a blast. But hopefully next year, towards the end of the year, is when Unicon will be. You can follow the Instagram for updates because we have a lot of events throughout the year. We focus a lot on wellness and different things that I think the Black community needs right now. And we're focused mostly in Durham.
Okay.
So that we can bring our people together.
Nice,
You know,
nice.
I'm representing Central out there.
Right,
So I had it in Durham. But yeah, we have yoga events, costume yoga events. Yes.
Okay, that would be cute.
We got a lot of little events that we have around the city and around North Carolina, just to bring people together, bring blurs together, and just have a little fun.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so go on Instagram and follow Unicon.
Yes, the official Unicon.
So a little birdie told me you like Death Note.
Oh my goodness. Who was that birdie? They're right. Oh. Death Note is my favorite anime. Next to Pokemon.
Okay.
Next to Pokemon.
Okay. So what is it about Death Note that you like? I've read, I think, the first book. So what do you like?
Girl, it's smart. It's smart. That's it in a nutshell. Everything was so calculated, and I was a math major, so I like things that fit together the way they're supposed to. So it was awesome that like every twist and turn had a logical reason behind it. You know, it wasn't just out of the blue. Elle was just so smart, and he put everything together so perfectly. But Kira also was counteracting every move that he had, and it was just wonderful seeing two smart people battle it out. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I love it.
So there's these guys, they're on YouTube, and they have this anime house. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, look that up. And one of the characters, he plays L, and the other one plays Light, and it's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Check it out, Anime House.
Yes.
So yeah, because you're right, Death Note. When I did read, it was the first anime or manga that I had picked up, and so I'm reading. I'm like, this is really good. Like, I see why people are really into it.
Yes.
So I need to finish it. I got it at home. I just need to finish it.
You know what's crazy? I also have all of the movies, not the Netflix movie.
Okay.
Not the Netflix movie, guys. But all of the actual Japanese movies are so good. I saw them in like an old FYE like a long time ago, and I bought them and girl, watched them back to back all the time. They were really good.
So okay, so I have a question for you. So I know you said you watched it a long time ago. Like, what introduced you to anime? Because I remember when I was younger, I didn't really know what anime was. Like, I remember when Sailor Moon came out, and I remember Dragon Ball Z, but I didn't actually realize those were considered anime.
Right.
So I really just started learning about anime the past couple of years. Like, so how did you find out about it?
So I actually have very nerdy parents.
Okay.
They didn't know it as anime either, but they were very, very big on like Speed Racer.
Gotcha.
When they were in college, they used to watch Speed Racer and the Flintstones all the time. These are the stories I hear, right? Speed Racer, Flintstones, and so when I was growing up, Speed Racer was just like something we always knew, we referenced, and that kind of thing. So then later when Pokemon came out, Pokemon is my heart song. Pokemon came out, I was in middle school, and I was sick the day that the first episode aired or something. So I was at home, and I was just like, what's this all about? Oh, I came to school the next day just talking about Pokemon, and no one knew what I was talking about. I was so upset, like no one knew, and then eventually it got really popular. Then I was more upset that too many people knew. But Pokemon was my heart. But I didn't consider it anime.
Right.
It wasn't until later, like, I got into Toonami.
Okay.
You know, Toonami, like, in my childhood, going into now, you know, like, into college, and then later going into adulthood. Like, I've been watching Toonami forever, Adult Swim forever. And that's when every now and then I would catch, like, an episode of, like, Gundam or something like that. And I was obsessed, you know, and Sailor Moon, of course, was one of my go-tos back in the day. But it wasn't until college when I was watching, like, a ton of anime. My best friend introduced me to Death Note, introduced me to Naruto, introduced me to to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll, let's just say that. She introduced me to Crunchyroll, and then it was over. So I had already had a little bit of knowledge from childhood, but it was college when I hit it big.
Gotcha. Right. Now, okay, so we talked about anime. What about comics?
Comics.
Now, what's your favorite comic? Like, who's your favorite character?
Oh, my favorite hero is Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Like, everything else is just, I love it all.
Peter. Okay, Peter. Okay.
Peter.
She's traditional.
Let me tell you, I love the Spider-Verse so much that, like, everyone's amazing. Everyone is, like, bomb.com. There's no one I dislike, I don't think. But Peter Parker is... It's my heart. It's my heart. I love Peter. Every Spider-Man movie. I even like Spider-Man 3. Y'all don't understand. I like Spider-Man 3. I don't care. I love an emo under, like...
Yeah, but he was like...
I love an emo eyeliner. I don't care. I'm going to argue that on Spider-Man 3, he was the most badass because he blew up his own best friend's face. How badass do you have to be to blow up your own best friend's face? Very. That's one.
Yeah.
And you know what? I stand by that. Don't make fun of me, guys. I stand by it.
So are you looking forward to No Way Home?
Girl.
So what do you think is going to happen with No Way Home? Because I think he's going to leave the MCU.
Every time I guess, it's slightly off. I definitely thought in the last one they would bring Miles Morales out because of how Miles is in the comic book and Mysterio's involvement in how the universe is kind of collided. It made me think, oh, they're going to bring Miles. And because in the first one, his uncle was in it. Yep. Aaron was in it.
Yep.
And they used a good actor.
Yep.
They got to bring you just put a good actor in a movie and then not bring him back, right? So I'm hoping with all these universes colliding that Miles
slides in there.
Slides into the movies. I would love to see it. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully
No,
that's
I'm
that's
down.
what
I'm down
happens.
for. I love Miles.
But you know what? Any Spider-Man, anything, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for all the new villains that are coming back. Doc Ock is my favorite. I'm so hyped.
I'm actually. Have you seen Venom yet? Venom 2?
I haven't, not yet.
Okay,
no.
I've seen this. So I won't say anything. So, but I've seen Venom 2. I'm actually really looking forward to Morbius because I'm ready for the return of vampires. I don't know what happened, but like there was like this real boom with vampires, and then they just went away.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for Morbius and Blade.
Yes. Oh, Blade is about to be amazing.
Yep, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. I am a huge comic fan. I don't have a favorite like Marvel or DC, that kind of thing. But anything Spider-Man, Marvel right now can't lose movie-wise.
Yeah.
Like they really can't.
Did you see Shang-Chi?
I didn't yet.
Oh my
Girl,
Lord.
I'm so behind. Last one I saw, I did see Black Widow.
Okay.
Which was everything.
Okay.
I was super, like, I wasn't excited to see it because I don't care for Black Widow.
Oh, really? I don't know.
I care for her in the cartoons a lot.
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen What. I don't know if you've seen What If yet.
And she slayed.
Let me tell you something.
I watched What If.
Black Widow and What If. That's how she should have.
That's how she should have.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Scarlett Johansson killed it in the MCU.
Yes.
But this Black Widow, like, this Black Widow was a 10 and Scarlett is like an 8.
That's what I'm saying. In the cartoons, like, I used to watch Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That was one of my favorites. And she slayed in that. That's where I'm getting assassin. You know, like, I'm getting assassin. I'm getting superhero. But in the MCU, I wasn't really getting superhero. I was getting, like, sidekick. Kind of. But you know what? The Black Widow movie was amazing, though. I felt it in there, but I'm not feeling it when she's in a crowd. When she's in a group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's like she kind of gets overshadowed by other characters.
She is, however, my mom's favorite comic book hero, so I always try to give her a little shot. You know, I try to
give her a shout out. Yeah, no, I love Black Widow, and one thing I want to see come out of that movie is like more Black Widow.
Yes.
Like when they showed the Black Widow training, and then they like left. I'm like, where are all these women going?
Where are they?
Can
I watch them, please? I have to say, yeah, like on what was it, Endgame, when they had like just the all women team up, that one little part. Yeah, I was hyped.
Yeah, I got goosebumps.
Pepper Potts is actually one of my favorites.
Yeah,
and when she has the rescue armor on and then with the wings, I was like, oh,
I love it. And then you see
Valkyrie,
and she be riding on that like what you call it, like some type of unicorn Pegasus type thing.
She's got her. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Pegasus.
When they show that shot in Thor Ragnarok, and there was Hela, and then all of them were riding down towards her.
Beautiful.
That was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
That
was
was
like a painting.
gorgeous. Yeah, it really was.
I love it. Marvel can't lose. They cannot lose. Granted, I do watch every DC movie also. I enjoy everything comic book, everything blurred.
DC Blue. DC Blue, Batman Robin.
Love it. Here for it. You know, DC was actually, those were my first introduction to comic books. My dad used to go out of town a lot for work and stuff because he was a pharmaceutical rep and he had to go away for training. He would come back and bring us a gift every time, and one time he brought me back a Batman comic, and he brought me back a Superman comic. And so Batman and Superman were my first comic books. And I personally think Batman has the best villains.
He does. Batman definitely has the best villains. I think Spider-Man has really good villains too.
Yeah, he's a close second.
Yeah, and I think that's why they're like two of the top characters.
Yeah,
because the villains, like, you're only as strong as your villain. So where can we find you on social media?
You guys can find me at the Charlie Rocket Cosplay on just about any social media platform, as well as the official Unicon on Instagram.
And you can find me at HiveComicade.com. You can find me on Hive Comicade's Twitter and Heroic Adventurous on Tumblr. Stay heroic.